If you're over 40, there's a silent shift happening inside your body that you might not even notice until it's too late. Around this age, your bones begin losing density faster than they rebuild. And the effects? They're not just about getting shorter or feeling stiff. Bone loss increases your risk of fractures, especially in your hips, spine, and wrists, places that can impact everything from your mobility to your independence. Hip fractures alone are linked with a 20% increase in mortality within the first year. And what's more shocking, most people don't know they're losing bone until they break one. That's why this conversation matters. By the time symptoms show, the damage is often already done. So let's talk about what you can do now. Here are 11 powerful, science-backed ways to fix bone loss after 40 naturally, practically, and effectively. Let's begin with strength training. Here's something your bones actually listen to: pressure. Not the kind from stress or deadlines, but the physical kind. When you challenge your muscles through resistance like lifting weights, climbing stairs, or even doing squats at home, you're sending a clear message to your body: hey, we still need strong bones down here. And your body listens. That pressure wakes up special cells called osteoblasts, the very builders of bone. They rush in to strengthen and rebuild the areas being stressed. Now here's the cool part. You don't need to be a gym junkie or lift heavy barbells. In fact, research shows that just 2 sessions of strength training per week can maintain or even increase bone density in people over 50. It's less about how hard you train and more about how regularly you do it. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't skip it for weeks, right? The same goes for your bones. They need that reminder. So start simple. 10 squats a day. A few push-ups against the wall. Maybe take the stairs instead of the elevator. These small movements might not feel like much, but to your bones, they're loud and clear. Keep building. What's even better? Strength training also improves your balance and coordination, 2 major factors in preventing falls, which are a leading cause of fractures after 60. So not only are you making your bones denser, you're also lowering your risk of ever needing to test their limits in the first place. Next up is collagen. When people think about bones, they usually picture hard, chalky calcium, but that's only part of the story. Surprisingly, about 30% of your bones are actually made of collagen. It's the protein framework that gives your bones their flexibility and shock-absorbing power. Without enough collagen, bones may still be dense, but they become brittle, easily cracked or broken, like dry twigs. That's why flexibility matters just as much as strength. Now, here's where things get interesting. As we age, our natural collagen production drops dramatically. By the time you're in your 40s or 50s, your body just isn't making enough to keep up with the wear and tear. But the good news? You can give it a boost. Hydrolyzed collagen peptides, taken daily around 5 grams a day, have been shown to help increase bone mineral density and slow down bone breakdown. These small peptides are easier to digest and absorb, meaning your body can actually use them to rebuild bone structure. But collagen doesn't work solo. It needs a partner: vitamin C. Think of it as the activation key. Without vitamin C, your body can't properly synthesize collagen. So, squeeze some lemon into your morning water, snack on oranges, strawberries, or kiwi, simple habits that quietly power up your collagen production. Adding this duo of collagen peptides and vitamin C to your daily routine is a small but mighty shift that can reinforce your bone strength from within. It's like patching up the internal scaffolding so your bones stay strong, resilient, and less likely to fracture. So next time you're thinking about bone health, remember it's not just about minerals. Protein matters too. For the next secret, vitamin D gets a lot of attention, and for good reason. Vitamin D is often praised for helping your body absorb calcium, and that's true, but there's way more to it. What most people don't realize is that vitamin D acts more like a hormone than a simple nutrient. It plays a critical role in bone remodeling, muscle function, and even inflammation control. Without enough of it, your body struggles to maintain the proper balance between building up bone and breaking it down, which can quietly lead to loss of density over time. Your body actually produces vitamin D naturally when your skin is exposed to sunlight. But here's the catch. Many of us don't get enough sun. Whether it's long workdays indoors, cloudy weather, or the habit of slathering on sunscreen, which blocks vitamin D synthesis, the result is widespread deficiency, especially in people over 40. In fact, studies show that up to 50% of adults worldwide are vitamin D deficient, and that number climbs in colder, darker regions. To help your body produce enough, aim for 15 to 20 minutes of direct sunlight on your skin, ideally around midday, and without sunscreen for at least the first few minutes. But if you live in a place with long winters or little sun exposure, a supplement can help fill the gap. Most adults over 40 do well with 2000 IU of vitamin D3 per day, but always consider getting your levels checked to personalize your intake. Getting your vitamin D right is one of the easiest, most impactful things you can do for your bones, and the benefits extend to your mood, muscles, and immune system too. So step into the sun or grab that supplement and let your body do what it's designed to do. Build and protect your bones from the inside out. Here's where it gets more interesting: vitamin K2. Ever wonder what happens to the calcium you're taking for your bones? Where does it actually go? Most people assume it heads straight to the skeleton, but without the right guidance, calcium can end up in the wrong places like your arteries. That's where vitamin K2 comes in. Think of it as the traffic director for calcium. While vitamin D helps absorb calcium into your bloodstream, vitamin K2 tells it where to go, making sure it's deposited into your bones and not your blood vessels. K2 activates special proteins that bind calcium to the bone matrix and simultaneously help prevent calcification in arteries. Without it, your calcium supplement might do more harm than good, contributing to hardened arteries instead of stronger bones. Unfortunately, K2 is pretty rare in the average diet. It's mainly found in fermented foods like natto, a traditional Japanese soy dish, aged cheeses, and egg yolks, foods many people either don't eat often or avoid altogether. That's why supplementing with 90 to 120 micrograms of vitamin K2, especially the -7 Malawian Quatches form, can be a game changer. It works synergistically with vitamin D, meaning the two together are far more effective at boosting bone strength than either one alone. So if you're already taking vitamin D or calcium, adding K2 ensures that all those nutrients are put to good use right where they're needed most. Magnesium is another secret player. Did you know that without magnesium, your calcium and vitamin D might not be doing much for your bones? Think of magnesium as the ultimate helper mineral, quiet, essential, and involved in over 300 biochemical processes in your body. One of its key roles is in bone formation, and it's absolutely crucial for turning vitamin D into its active, usable form. Without magnesium, vitamin D stays inactive, and calcium just floats around without direction. It also helps regulate parathyroid hormone, which is responsible for managing how much calcium your bones absorb and how much stays in your blood. In other words, even if you're taking calcium and vitamin D every day, low magnesium can hold you back. And unfortunately, magnesium deficiency is incredibly common, largely due to modern diets that rely on processed foods and lack magnesium-rich whole foods. So where do you get it? Nature's got you covered. Pumpkin seeds, almonds, spinach, black beans, avocados, and even dark chocolate are excellent sources. But if you're not getting enough through food, a magnesium supplement, especially in forms like magnesium glycinate, which is easy to absorb and gentle on the stomach, can help fill the gap. Aim for about 300 to 400 milligrams per day, depending on your age, gender, and lifestyle. Over time, this can make a real difference in how well your body uses other bone-building nutrients and in your overall bone density. It's a simple mineral, but when it comes to strong, healthy bones, magnesium quietly does the heavy lifting behind the scenes. One often forgotten mineral in this conversation is boron. You've probably heard of calcium and vitamin D for bone health, but have you ever heard of boron? It might not be as famous, but this trace mineral plays a surprisingly powerful role in keeping your bones strong, especially as you age. Boron helps regulate estrogen and testosterone, two key hormones that are critical for maintaining bone density in both men and women. As hormone levels naturally decline with age, Boron helps keep them balanced and effective, indirectly supporting your bone structure. But that's not all. Boron also works behind the scenes to reduce inflammation and enhance your body's ability to retain calcium and magnesium, two minerals essential for bone growth and strength. Inflammation, especially the chronic low-grade kind, is known to accelerate bone loss. So by calming inflammation and helping your body hold on to bone-building minerals, boron becomes a silent protector of your skeletal system. The best part? You don't need much. Just 3 to 5 milligrams per day is enough, and you can easily get it through everyday foods like prunes, raisins, almonds, avocados, and dried apricots. A small handful of dried fruit or a boron-containing multivitamin can cover your needs. In fact, studies have shown that even this small amount of boron significantly slows bone loss in postmenopausal women, a group at high risk for osteoporosis. Next, omega-3 fatty acids play a role in reducing bone breakdown. Omega-3 fatty acids are often celebrated for heart and brain health. But did you know they also support your bones? These healthy fats, especially EPA and DHA, do more than just fight inflammation. They actively enhance the work of osteoblasts, the cells responsible for building new bone, while slowing down osteoclasts, which break bone down. It's a double benefit, promoting bone formation while reducing bone loss. One study even found that women with higher levels of omega-3s in their blood had better bone mineral density, particularly in the hips and spine areas that are most vulnerable as we age. This makes omega-3s an underrated yet powerful tool in protecting against osteoporosis. If you're a fan of fatty fish like salmon, sardines, or mackerel, you're already on the right track. These are some of the richest natural sources of EPA and DHA. But if seafood isn't your thing, don't worry. Plant-based options like flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts offer ALA, a type of omega-3 that the body can convert into EPA and DHA, though less efficiently. To get the most bone-protective effects, 1 to 2 grams of combined EPA and DHA per day through fish oil or algae oil supplements is a great target. Adding omega-3s into your routine doesn't just support your bones. It helps your joints, brain, and heart too. Protein is another nutrient that people often misunderstand when it comes to bones. When most people think of bone health, they picture calcium and maybe vitamin D, but protein often gets left out of the conversation. That's a big oversight because bones aren't just made of minerals, they're also made of protein. In fact, protein forms the scaffolding that gives bones their structure. It makes up roughly half the volume of bone and about 1/3 of its total mass. Without enough of it, bones can't maintain their strength or flexibility, no matter how much calcium you take. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at both absorbing and using protein, which makes it even more important to be intentional about our intake. If you're over 40, a good target is 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. That means if you weigh around 70 kilograms, about 154 pounds, you should aim for 70 to 90 grams of protein daily. The good news is you can easily meet this target through everyday foods. Eggs, chicken, fish, Greek yogurt, legumes, lentils, tofu, and cottage cheese are all excellent sources. Try to spread your protein across all meals instead of loading it all at once. Your body can absorb and use it more effectively that way. Protein isn't just about muscle. It plays a central role in the maintenance and repair of your bones. Making it a regular, balanced part of your diet can be one of the simplest and most powerful ways to support bone health as you age. Let's also talk about silicon. Silicon might not be the first nutrient that comes to mind when you think about bone health, but it plays a surprisingly important role. This trace mineral helps form the collagen framework in bones, the structure upon which calcium, magnesium, and other minerals are deposited. Without that foundation, your bones can't fully mineralize, making them weaker and more prone to fractures, especially as you age. What makes silicon especially valuable is its ability to enhance the strength and elasticity of bone during the early stages of bone formation. Think of it as the scaffolding crew on a construction site. Without it, the rest of the materials can't be properly assembled. Studies have shown that higher dietary silicon intake is directly associated with better bone mineral density, particularly in premenopausal women, who are in a critical phase for building and maintaining peak bone mass. You can find silicon in everyday foods, especially in cucumbers, with the skin, oats, bell peppers, barley, and mineral-rich waters like those labeled silica-rich. These natural sources are easy to incorporate into meals. Add sliced cucumber to your salads, oatmeal to your breakfast, and sip on natural mineral water throughout the day. For those looking to supplement, aim for 20 to 50 milligrams of silicon per day, and choose orthosilicic acid, which your body absorbs most efficiently. Including silicon in your bone health routine might not be as mainstream as calcium or vitamin D, but it's a quiet powerhouse that strengthens your skeletal system from the inside out. Here's one more powerful, often overlooked tip: prioritize quality sleep. It might sound unrelated at first, but sleep is when your body goes into full repair mode, and that includes your bones. During deep sleep, your body releases growth hormone, which plays a direct role in bone remodeling and repair. If your sleep is consistently poor or disrupted, your body produces more cortisol, a stress hormone that's been linked to increased bone loss over time. In fact, studies have shown that people who regularly sleep less than 6 hours a night tend to have lower bone mineral density and are more likely to develop osteopenia or osteoporosis, especially postmenopausal women. Poor sleep doesn't just affect your energy. It quietly disrupts your body's ability to maintain strong bones. To support your bone health, aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night. Make it easier on yourself by keeping a consistent sleep schedule, limiting caffeine after 2 p.m., and winding down with calming habits like stretching, herbal tea, or reading. A magnesium-rich evening snack, like a banana with almond butter, can also help relax your muscles and nervous system. And finally, consider the power of movement itself, not just exercise, but how you move throughout your day. Your bones are always listening, and what they hear from your daily habits can either build them up or slowly wear them down. Prolonged sitting, as common as it is in today's world, tells your body one unfortunate thing: we don't really need these bones right now. Over time, that message leads to decreased bone stimulation and gradual loss in density, especially in the hips and spine. It's not just about aging, it's about inactivity. But here's the good news: you don't need intense workouts to support your bones. Gentle, consistent movement goes a long way. Light impact activities like brisk walking, dancing, tai chi, and even a casual hike all send signals to your body that your bones still need to stay strong and resilient. These movements create microstress on your skeletal system, which encourages bone-building cells to stay active. Even everyday actions matter. Standing while working, walking around during phone calls, doing house chores, or taking stretch breaks throughout your day, all of it counts. The more varied and frequent your movement, the stronger the signal to your bones that they are needed. Think of your bones like a muscle. Use them or lose them. It doesn't take hours in the gym. Just keep moving, shift your posture often, and sprinkle activity into your day. Altogether, these 10 strategies don't work in isolation. They're most powerful when used in combination. Start where it feels easiest. Maybe that's walking every morning, adding pumpkin seeds to your oatmeal, or sipping bone broth with a squeeze of lemon. The point is to start. Bone loss may be silent, but your response to it doesn't have to be. Try incorporating these tips over the next week and see how your body responds. Let your bones know they're still needed. And if you notice a change in less joint pain, better posture, and more energy, share your experience. Because when we fix our bones, we support our strength from the inside out.